India. What comes to our minds when we hear the word India? A country with a hair-striking heritage. A country with a gorgeous geography. A country with a productive population and a developing youth. Aren't these things that strike our mind when we even think of the word India? Today, however, I want all of us to question ourselves. Are our perceptions actually realistic? Do our perceptions hold true in real life? If your answer is yes, then you are right. Yes, you are right. But only if we were talking about India 5 centuries ago. Namaste and good morning. My name is Parsha Doshi and today I am here as the bearer of reality to tell you things that we are often reluctant to accept. Today is 19 January 2021 and I know that each and every one of us here has been gearing up towards the upcoming Republic Day. An occasion that we have so conventionally transformed into a day of just praising the nation. However, we, a bunch of people that like to see the world in a different light, would like all of you to join us. And to ditch your usual black and white lenses that you wear every day and pick up some more colorful lenses to see, to witness the colorful nation around us. Join us as we show you a more holistic approach to witness our motherland, India. This nation has always been one devout on religion and culture, keeping up this tradition of spirituality and hoping for an auspicious beginning. Let us now move forward with the prayers.
નમસ્તે. હું કરું પ્રભુ પ્રાર્થના, મને પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. આ પ્રાર્થનામાંથી આપણને શીખવા મળે છે. કહેવાય છે ને કે છોરું કછોરું થાય પણ માવતર કમાવતર ન થાય. મા બાપ પોતાના સંતાનને ભૂલતા નથી. દરેક મનુષ્ય પોતાના સ્વાર્થ, લોભ અને અભિમાનમાં આવીને ઈશ્વરને ભૂલી જાય છે. પરંતુ પરમ કૃપાળુ પરમેશ્વર પોતાના સંતાનને ક્યારેય નથી ભૂલતા. આ ગીતમાં બાળક પોતાના પિતા પાસે ભૂલોની માફી માંગી પ્રેમની યાચના કરે છે. ચાલો સાંભળીએ.
પ્રભુ પ્રાર્થના મન પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. પ્રભુ પ્રાર્થના મને પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. હું કઈ ખોટું કામ કરું તો ત્યારે મુજને પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. પ્રભુ પ્રાર્થના મને પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. જીવન છે સાર સુખ દુઃખનો સાર છે. હું હારથી ન હારી જાઉં એવી હિંમત આપજે. હું કરું પ્રભુ પ્રાર્થના મને પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. પ્રેમ તારો આપજે. પ્રેમ તારો આપજે.
All of us patriots love reiterating this message. India is a developing country, but we hardly ever stress on the fact that it has been so for decades. Many consider it to be the superpower of tomorrow, while many argue against it and point all of its flaws. But the striking question is, what is the ground reality? Not only is this question of utmost relevance, it is now also imperative that it be answered in order to ensure our progress. Today, we attempt to recreate the global scenarios which might enable us to know where we stand, where we lag behind, and where change is a must.
A country's primary goal is to develop, to move forward consistently. Health, education, living standards, these all are integral parts of determining how a country's human development progress is. Measured in the Human Development Index, India ranks 131st out of 180 total countries, as released in the Human Development Report by the UN Development Programme. I will ask you now, is that a respectable rating? It indicates that life expectancy, per person income, GDP per capita, and literacy rates are all substantially below the average. And dare I say, plummeting constantly in this country that once emerged as the mother of civilization. How long will it be before India can attain the levels of Norway, which topped the rankings for 2016?
Human development is imperative, yet decentralized, meaning that there is no single factor that contributes to the cause fully. But we can point a finger to one of the most integral part of development, education. World Data Bank suggests this is yet another field where India is a backrunner with 62.75% adult literacy rate in 2006, a time when China was at top with 93%. Less number of effective teachers, a student to teacher ratio of 40 to 1 in 2004, which was higher and consequently worse than China, USA, and even Pakistan. And stats even show that a fourth of teachers in India do not come to school on any given day. Literacy in India seems to skyrocket, but in the opposite direction.
This is not, however, entirely anyone's fault, personally speaking. This being the country that has had the honor of hosting such great acharyas such as Chanakya and Aryabhatta, is the same amount of prestige being attached to education today? Do we value our gurus nearly as much as in the medieval times, or have we allowed the honor of our education go down to the dogs? Education is the root of all employment, of all life. Do we abide by the Sanskrit Subhashit inscribed centuries ago, but which has not lost significance over time? Do we students even pay heed to Kakacheshta, Bakodhyanam, Shwana Nidra, Tathaivacha, Alpahari, Grihityagi, Vidyarthi Pancha Lakshanam? It is time for reform, my friends. It is time for change. Radical change. It is time that we become who we were, can be, and will inevitably become.
Change is needed. Change is the only constant. We, however, have a tendency to have change to the most detriment of those around us. Often the environment, right from the air quality to water, sanitation, agriculture, forest, aquatic life, biodiversity, and sustainable energy. The Environmental Performance Index maps out a variety of relevant environmental criteria. India devastatingly, yet rather predictably, ranks 177th out of 180. Even more drastic is India's last position based on environmental health. Sometimes it is important to learn from our neighbors too. If a small country like Bhutan can be carbon neutral, isn't it a high time we took a page out of its book?
Our motherland has a peace-loving and intellectual civilizational background which has a universal appeal. It is now our duty to take cleanliness to that level that India can be counted among the top clean countries of the world. Cleanliness is next to godliness. One cannot gain God's blessings with a dirty body and a dirty heart. Cleanliness must include a clean mind, a clean body, and clean surroundings. We often develop the conception that cleaning is a job for the sweepers, the lower class society, the untouchables. But it isn't. It is a duty, a responsibility for each and every one of us. Something that, contrary to making us poor souls, elevates us.
When tourists visit India, they wonder why the schools and government offices are filled with dirt, why people spit on the ground and in government places. One can see that people eat and just throw away wrappers and other articles out of their vehicle while traveling. This is the first picture we draw outside India. These people, they are us, no more, no less. Gone are the days of condemning, of contemplating at length about cleanliness. It is the time to act now, to look the world in its face and say, I am giving my best to a clean society. And as you say, so shall you become.
All these factors, all these measurements, where do they lead? Contentment, pleasure, happiness, an essential part of human life. Happiness differs from person to person. Different people have different conceptions and perceptions of being happy. But not possible for a person to live their lives devoid of joy and happiness. Mahatma Gandhi said, happiness is when what we think, what we say, and what we do is in harmony. Hence, it is predictable that happiness is the factor that is indicative of a country's development. After all, healthy citizens are the greatest asset a country can have.
Freedom to make choices, generosity, social support, welfare, GDP per capita. There is an unending list of factors that determine a country's happiness. You and I, we're content. Then it might come as both a shock and shame that this very country, the country of exotic places, colorful people and diverse cultures, this nation of India is ranked 122nd out of 155 total countries. Do we deserve a ranking even lower than Middle Eastern countries and Pakistan? Probably. But do we have the potential to incite dramatic change? Decidedly.
Having now looked at the multiple factors, it is fair to say that the particular nationalistic emotion would have substantially depreciated in value. However, so far, the only aspects we have covered were those in which work was needed. There are many places in which we have shown considerable progress. Places where some of us as Indians have shown exemplary initiative. So now, it's time to look at some of these nationalists.
First, though, it is important to radically redefine patriotism, nationalism, देशभक्ति, राष्ट्रवाद. आज के जमाने में ऐसा क्या है जिसे हम राष्ट्रवादी मानते हैं? क्या वह केवल सैनिक हैं या सेनानी, स्वतंत्रता सेनानी? आज हम एक ऐसे समय में और एक ऐसे समाज में जी रहे हैं जहां देशभक्ति केवल संरक्षण का प्रतीक बनकर रह गया है. नहीं, मैं संरक्षण के बल से, संरक्षण की क्षमता से इनकार नहीं कर रहा. मैं तो सिर्फ इतना चाहता हूं कि राष्ट्रवाद के क्षितिज का विस्तार हो. कला, विज्ञान, कृषि, बागवानी, वाणिज्य, साहित्य. आज हम कुछ ऐसे ही अपरंपरागत किंतु निर्विवाद देशभक्ति के उदाहरणों को प्रकाश में लाते हैं, जिन्होंने हमारे देश के भविष्य को उज्जवल किया है, प्रकाशित किया है और आगे भी करते रहेंगे.
When we think of child power, what are the first words to spring to mind? Greta Thunberg? Sabran Suzuki? But how many of us would blurt out Lysippia Kangcham's name? How many even know of the little 9-year-old girl born in Manipur who shares the dream of a clean environment? The recipient of the World's Children Peace Prize and the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Children Award. The girl with an audacious determination to address the UN COP25 in 2019 to kindle the flames of global action. No, she isn't India's Greta Thunberg, as she is commonly called. She may share similar visions, but she will leave behind a different legacy. And just by remembering her and countless others, we have a chance to be part of that legendary legacy.
While human beings depend on nature for their basic needs in their lives, these same forests provide shelter to innumerable animals. Without forests, life is next to impossible. Jadhav Molai Payam, a very simple man living in the Jorhat city of Assam, realized this truth very deeply. The village of Jadhav Payam is situated near the colossal Brahmaputra river. In 1979, a flood occurring near the banks of Brahmaputra caused havoc. At that time, Jadhav Payam was 16 years old. After the flood, while passing through the banks of Brahmaputra river, he saw that many snakes and other water creatures had died, and there was not a single tree on the deserted island in the middle of Brahmaputra river. And then Jadhav Payam planted trees there for over 40 years. And soon that deserted place became a forest with thousands of life forms buzzing in it. And so, Jadavpuyam is also referred to as the forest man of India.
Humans have a certain duty towards nature. It doesn't stop there though. Humanity can be defined with the quality of being human, the peculiar nature of man by which he is distinguished from other beings. Humanity means to lift the fallen, to restore the broken and to heal the hurting. It means forgetting selfish interests at times when others need your help. These words are truly implemented in the life of Dr. Sudha Murthy. She became a social worker, prolific writer, and a trained engineer when women rarely entered the field. She has initiated and anchored several programs to improve healthcare, disaster relief, education, women, youth empowerment, and orphan care.
A well-known writer, Sudha Murthy has over 95 titles in 16 Indian languages and has won various awards from state, national and international levels, including prestigious Padma Shri Award, Rajya Prashasti and 6 doctorates from universities across India. She is an idol for millions and an inspiration for trillions. Sudha Murthy is no one with special abilities, but one with determination to harness her capabilities and influence the world. Capabilities that none of us lack, only if we can learn to communicate, express and harness.
From singing at railway stations to living on scraps of food, Sindhu Dai Sakpal has come a long way in establishing centers for orphan children. She is often referred to as Dai, mother. Her funda is simple. No child should be denied the love of a mother. And if a child does not have a mother, she is here to fill up the void. She has proven mystic Sadhguru's words to be true. The beauty of motherhood does not lie in a certain capability, but it lies in the willingness to include. Sindhu Dai acts as a mother. Can you?
We live in a world lacking compassion. And the sad reality of humanity is that a vast majority of people ignore the sufferings of others. That's why Dalai Lama said that it is arguably the best way of it. Love and compassion are two basic needs, not luxuries. And without them, humanity cannot survive. Humanity is spreading unconditional love to each and every being present on this earth.
मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है जो औरों को जीवन देता है. Amit Khanna's words are profoundly befitting for the social activist Anup Khanna, who works selflessly for the betterment of the society and has set an example for the fellow countrymen. He serves humanity through affordable food at his roadside shop called Dadi Ki Rasoi, irrespective of caste, creed, religion and status. He is presently charging a voluntary amount of Rs 5 per plate and serves more than 500 hungry souls every day. People like Anup Khanna are our real national heroes.
Around India in 10 minutes. That has been our journey so far. Yet, one of the most relatable national heroes lies right in the backyard. That's what's so curious about us. The last place where we look for a lost jewel is in the very house. And that's where, when searched, we discover an often underemphasized pioneer in terms of science. This journey takes us back to 1909 to Jamnagar, Gujarat.
જામનગરના એક નાનકડા મકાનની અંદર આપણે ડોક્ટર નવતમ ભટ્ટને જોઈ શકીએ છીએ. IISCમાં તેમના ભૌતિકશાસ્ત્રના માસ્ટર્સ મેળવનાર વ્યક્તિ સર CV રમણના અધ્યયન હેઠળ એક વૈજ્ઞાનિક જે એક દિવસ દિલ્હીના સોલિડ સ્ટેટ ફિઝિક્સ લેબોરેટરીમાં સ્થાપક ડિરેક્ટર બનશે, એક ભારતીય જે મેસેચ્યુસેટ્સ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ઓફ ટેકનોલોજીમાં સ્નાતક થશે, એક ક્રાંતિકારી જેનું સંરક્ષણ ટેકનોલોજીના ક્ષેત્રમાં કાર્ય અનુપમ છે છતાં માન્ય નથી. મિસાઇલો માટે વેરિયેબલ ટાઈમ ફ્યુઝ, હિલિયમ નિયોન લેઝર્સ, ફોટોવોલ્ટિક ઓર સોલાર સેલ્સ, સેમિકન્ડક્ટર ચિપ્સ જેવા ડિફેન્સ સાયન્સ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન માટે તેમના મોટા ભાગનું કાર્ય સુરક્ષા કારણોસર ગુપ્ત રહે છે. પરંતુ તેમ છતાં તે માનવું સલામત છે કે ભારતના સંરક્ષણ તેમના યોગદાન વિના કલ્પના કરવું અશક્ય છે. સંરક્ષણ તકનીક ઉપરાંત ડોક્ટર ભટ્ટ ભારતીય સંગીતના આશ્રયદાતા હતા, જેના કારણે તેમને દિલ્હીની શીલા અને ઓડિયોન અને મુંબઈના બિરલા માતુશ્રી સભાગૃહ જેવા 70mm થિયેટરમાં ક્રાંતિકારી અકાઉસ્ટિક્સ વિકસાવી હતી. આપણે એમ કહી શકીએ છીએ કે તેઓ તેમના સમયના કલામ હતા ને આપણા બધાયમાં આપણા સમયનો કલામ બનવાની ક્ષમતા છે.
The country, the world itself, is never devoid of problems, but the very future of civilization bends on the possibility that each one of us, you, me, and everyone else, understands our true potential. As an individual, as a community, and as a nation, we are plagued every day by poverty, corruption, inflation, climate change, famine, diseases, inhumanity, inequality, discrimination, low expectancy rates, literacy. The question is, do we have the potential to retaliate, to change? Yes, if we can shade that blaze attitude and just be who we have to the potential to be.
Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no easy path to freedom, and many of us will have to go through the shadow of valley of death again and again to reach the summit of our desires. The journey might be arduous, but the scene at the summit will be scenic. It will be breathtaking. It will be indescribable. It is our ultimate goal to reach that peak. Now let us resolve to follow that process towards the welfare of mankind. Now let us take an oath of elegance and sincerity."
I, Samarth Nair, a citizen of India and a dedicated human, today take an oath of undying allegiance to my motherland, my compatriots, companions, and fellow humans. I will forever strive to serve my brothers and sisters in whatever way conceivable. I will never let my actions, if done for a good cause, however infinitesimal and unrelated they seem, be dwarfed in my mind. I will understand the core spirit of nationalism, of humanity, and dedicate my actions to the ultimate goal of proving myself to be a determined Indian and a resolute human.
This country ain't flawless, but then again, nothing is. It's what we choose to highlight that defines how the country looks. A positive approach would highlight cultural diversity, linguistic abundance. Pessimism leads to corruption, poverty, overpopulation. What's important is understanding that despite all the setbacks, this country is and will forever stay Sare Jahan se Acha. With that belief in mind, let us all rise in honor of the national anthem, in honor of this glorious country. Assembly Southern.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Assembly Vishram. Our past, India's past, has been garnished with innumerable respected sages, venerable gurus and devoted Rishimunis. Meditation just seems to be running in the blood of us Indians for the past few millennia. Hence, the sheer importance of contemplative thought is something all Indians would comprehend. Now, I call forth Shivram Sir to continue this custom of thought with a thought-inciting point to Socho.
है प्रीत जहाँ की रीत सदा, मैं गीत वहाँ के गाता हूँ, भारत का रहने वाला हूँ, भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ. Namaste. Republic Day 26th of January is round the corner and we celebrate this entire week as a thought-provoking week. Let us ask questions to ourselves as to how nationalist, how patriotic are we? Because I believe these 2 days, 26th of January and 15th of August, are the 2 dates of audit as to how good an Indian have we been throughout the year. Just like we end the financial year on certain date, let us also have 2 checkpoints for the entire year about our goodness, about our character, about our patriotism. The song states, "Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara, hum bulbule hain iski ye gulsita hamara." But the fact lies in the Global Livability Index, which states that India doesn't feature in the top 10 countries of the world in terms of livability, but it somewhere features in the bottom 20 countries of the world to live as an option given by people. Now, why is it so? Why is there a beeline of people wanting to flee India and settle down in other countries? Why are parents who are willing to stash away entire money of their life to settle their children in foreign countries? These are the questions which we need to ask ourselves before we sing this song with extreme pride on these 2 days, Sare Jahan Se Acha. Let us see what all can we develop without government's intervention or without the need of money. The basic character traits: honesty, integrity, respect, discipline, trustworthiness, loyalty. All these character traits don't require money or government to do something. Imagine if every citizen of India takes a pledge to be more honest than he was, to be more disciplined than he was last year, to be more trustworthy than he was last year. I think the national character index of the entire nation would go up. So let's ask our Prime Minister, our beloved Prime Minister, Sir, Mr. Modi, can we have at the end of every year, on these 2 days, if at all we can have, not just the display of gross domestic product or national domestic product, GDP. Instead of this, can we have national character index, national happiness index as Bhutan has it, and national goodness index? I think this is what will drive people's morals, and this is what is going to drive youth in the right direction. And as Vivekanand ji said, whom we remembered on the National Youth Day, he says, the youth of the country need Brahma Tej and Kshatra Virya. If we have children who are physically fit, mentally strong, we'll have a stronger nation. So I leave you with powerful lines by Dushyant Kumar. Khuda nahi na sahi, aadmi ka khab sahi. Khuda nahi na sahi, aadmi ka khab sahi. कोई हसीन नज़ारा तो है नज़र के लिए, वो मुतमईन है कि पत्थर पिघल नहीं सकता, मैं बेकरार हूँ आवाज़ में असर के लिए, मैं बेकरार हूँ आवाज़ में असर के लिए. Wish you a very, very happy, more patriotic week ahead. Let's all think good questions to derive good answers, and let's lead a more character-driven life. Let's have the priorities in the right places, and I'm sure the nation is going to progress. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Nationalistic emotion is something we cannot bind with chains or restrict. It is free-flowing. The stories that we have covered while being of utmost relevance are at the tip of the iceberg of patriotism. The history is dotted with instances of exceptional bravery, devotion and perseverance. But sadly, we cannot cover all of them in this short 35-minute episode.
However, as we take your leave, rather reluctantly, it is not to be forgotten that it is not only within the confinements of this assembly that nationalism exists. It is our duty as Indians to devote our entire lives towards nationalism as the pledge taken today suggests. With this idea firmly stored in our minds, we now proceed forward towards the exit sound. Till then, take care, stay safe and be nationalistic.
नमस्ते। प्रभु जी दया करो, मन में आन बसो। इस प्रार्थना में हमें यह सीख मिलती है कि प्रभु बिन दूजा कोई नहीं जो हमारे मन की बात जान सके। इसीलिए हम प्रभु से विनती करते हैं कि मैं सिर्फ आपको जानता हूँ। आपके बिना मुझे खालीपन महसूस होता है। आपकी महिमा तो निराली है। तो आओ मेरे हृदय में निवास करो और मेरे इस सुनेपन को दूर करो। तो चलो सुनते हैं यह प्रार्थना।
प्रभु जी दया करो, प्रभु जी दया करो, मन में आन बसो, मन में आन बसो, प्रभु जी दया करो। तुम बिना लागे मोहे सूना, तुम बिना लागे मोहे सूना, खाली घट में प्रेम भरो, खाली घट में प्रेम भरो। प्रभु जी दया करो, प्रभु जी दया करो। तंत्र मंत्र पूजा नहीं जानो, तंत्र मंत्र पूजा नहीं जानो, मैं तो केवल तुमको ही मानो, तो केवल तुमको ही मानो प्रभु जी दया करो मन में आने बसो